Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Porter and Clowney up in the forward spots. Torrey is out there with Demon. And it's Claxton in at the 5 spot. And for the Hawks, Johnson and Okongwu man the post position. Filling the perimeter slots are Daniels and Rizachet. And it's Alexander Walker in at the 1 spot. We know these two teams rack up the assists. Greg, they pride themselves on playing unselfish basketball.
Yeah, both sides preach player and ball movement, getting everyone involved. It makes both teams that much more difficult to defend.
Here's Claxton. Porter inside. Guarded by Rizachet. That's good from Porter on the assist by Claxton. Here is Daniels. Pass to Alexander Walker. Back to Daniels. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Goes up on the wing. A rebound by the Nets. Last time they met was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Well, they have to stay aggressive, but protecting the basketball is at the top of the whiteboard. There's a balance.
Here's Rizachet. Pass to Alexander Walker. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And that one's good, Rizachet.
Oh, that's a great sign for Rizachet, proving he can handle the physicality of the NBA.
Outside, Porter takes the 3. No good on that one. Outside, Daniel. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Pass to Rizachet. They get it back. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Greg, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. Here's Clowney. They set the pick. Outside, Porter fires the 3. Offensive rebound, Nets. Screen by Claxton. Demon, that's good.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Here's Alexander Walker. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte.
And he really hurt them at the free throw line.
Rizachet with it, guarded by Porter. Rizachet with it. Over Porter. It's hauled in by Claxton. Nets have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And in a little over a decade, the Nets, GA, having to rebuild from the ashes of 2 super team iterations.
The short time span between shows how quickly they can turn things around. And with a treasure trove of picks in the coming years, they look to climb that mountain once again.
Now, Alexander Walker. Very solid contribution from him as he averages over 20 points a game. Beyond the arc. A rebound by the Nets. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And that was a tough one. They expected to play well and did, just not well enough.
And you know, when I watched that game back, I thought they actually did play well. The other team just played better.
Here's the screen. Torrey. And the 3 off target. The Hawks trail. And here's Daniels. Johnson surveying the floor. Launches a 3. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got his 4th rebound in this one. Outside, Porter. Pass to Clowney. Claxton a screen on Daniel. Here's Clowney. Sinks the triple.
When you can shoot over the top of people and hit a high percentage from out there, you are in rare company.
Outside Daniel. Now Johnson. Here's Alexander Walker. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from Rain.
Yeah, he was so ready to answer that. These teams are just battling.
Here's Traore. 20 points for him last game against Indiana.
And it wasn't just the scoring. His assist numbers tell an even bigger story.
For Atlanta, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Okongwu, the pass to Alexander Walker. Here's Johnson.
Unreal. And Johnson giving these fans a show.
And a good-looking view of that throwdown from the AT&T Connected Cam. Brooklyn trailing. Outside Porter. Pass to Traore. They set the screen. And he banks in the layup.
Well, they're trying to take command of this game, but it's been competitive so far.
We see this in the NBA all the time. It is very difficult to keep a lead in this league.
Here's Alexander Walker. Riza Shea wide open. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Got to get out on that if you're the defense. This rookie Riza Shea can really do damage from the perimeter.
Pass to Demon. Here's Traore. Outside Porter. Puts up a deep 3. Okongwu grabs the board.
Struggling to get it going out there right now. I think he's pressing just a little bit too much.
Alexander Walker on the wing. Claxton covering. Alexander Walker passes to Okongwu. And a wide open look for Daniels. And it's off from 3-point range. Here's Traore, defended by Alexander Walker. Oh, Claxton in position. Here's Johnson, and the slam dunk by Johnson.
Wow, through that contact. That is a really nice play by Johnson.
Nets trail by 4. Pass to Clowney. Porter looking it over. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one on Riza Shea.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Hawks?
And guys, they've done a great job feeding their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
And their ball movement has been next level. When your team is playing unselfishly like this, that is tough to beat.
And the first one at the line is good. Here we are now past the midway point of the season, Tim. What kinds of things are you focusing on right now as you take a look at the league?
Well, Kevin, this is where teams separate. There's 2 paths. Teams that are starting to get themselves ready for a playoff run, and those that are starting to think about their next offseason and angling for a good draft position.
And teams trying to peak at the right time. A very tough thing to achieve, don't you think?
It's critical. You want to be in rhythm and healthy to make that deep playoff run.
And you can tell Porter Jr. wants to keep getting better. And that's one reason why this team is still so high on him.
Pass to Traore. Here's Demon. Paxton a screen on Daniels. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
And how about the numbers here for Michael Porter? Putting up about 25 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And guys, he can just explode for points anytime he steps on the court.
You want to be a successful team in this league, you need to find someone that you can feed the ball to and count on to score.
Here's Daniels, coming in off a 21-point game his last outing. Pass to Johnson. Back to Daniels. Johnson sets the screen for Daniels. The shot that time, not on target. Nets trail by 3. Claxton inside. Okongwu on him.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Outside Daniel. Here's Ricochet. He's got 5. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Johnson sets the screen for Daniel. Up again. It's hauled in by Claxton. Nets have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Here's Traore. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Here's Devin. Oh my, he'll go to the line with a chance for a 4-point play. It's going to be on Dyson Daniels. The Nets have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. Atlanta making some changes. Fields checked in for Ricochet, and it's C.J. McCollum in for Daniels. Williams, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Powell comes in for Traore. And last season, Tim, Paul Millsap retired. He was an all-star in each of his 4 years in Atlanta.
Well, he helped guide the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2015. That team overachieved through chemistry, and this group hopes to do the same thing. Well, the defense should consider themselves lucky there because he's not usually one to miss those kinds of looks.
And now, Allie LaForce says something for us from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. Michael Porter Jr. was the #1 prospect in his high school class, and he said, growing up, basketball was easy for me. It was like, say, going up an elevator. But after my injuries, it's like climbing the stairs. It's like I'm walking in my purpose through this. More than if everything had just been smooth. Back to you.
Thank you, Allie. Here's Alexander Walker. To stop the drought, Porter pulls it in. Nets leading by 3. Claxton with it. Outside Porter. Back to Williams. Powell sets a screen for Williams. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. And the Nets lead by 6.
If he gets any daylight out there, he is capable of knocking that shot down.
And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy.
In the offense,
Well, a chance to check out some stats for Nicholas Claxton.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage, and it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Here's Alexander Walker, guarded by Powell. Johnson outside. 5 to shoot. To the paint. Here's McCollum. Porter pulls it in.
And you see the bench react as that layup doesn't drop. That's not exactly what they were expecting.
Count the basket.
He's been on fire since the beginning of this game, particularly when you look at the high percentage shots he's getting.
Here's McCollum. After the basket by Brooklyn. Now here's Hield. Still without a basket. Okongwu with a screen on Powell. Can they get it? And Okongwu slams it in.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. Pass to Demon. Now Porter fires for 3. Rebound Atlanta. Okongwu's now got 6 rebounds in the game.
Nothing going his way this quarter offensively. Time to recalibrate.
McCollum feeling it out a bit, and he nails the jumper. And now just a 4-point Nets lead.
And that's an element McCollum brings to their offense, the ability to drain the outside shot. It stretches the defense and makes them keep bodies on the perimeter.
Now here's Williams. He's got 5, takes it from 10. Again, the Nets for 2. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Alexander Walker. Back to McCollum. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Well, that's one of the many things McCollum does to help your offense. He is so adept at drawing fouls, and if you send him to the line, it's almost automatic.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And one of the things about C.J. McCollum, it's not just about his numbers. It's also about how good of a teammate he is. It's really a great example for younger players.
He's perfect from the line this time.
Your classic combo guard. C.J. McCollum can play off the ball as a shooting guard, but also can run the point at times. A valuable piece for this team.
And that does it for the first quarter. Brooklyn ahead. They finish off the first quarter on a 14-6 run. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Nets?
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
And another thing they've done consistently well is attack the paint. They have stayed aggressive under the hoop and gotten high percentage looks.
So with Johnson on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. They've got Jock Landale. Buddy Hield is out there with C.J. McCollum. Then there's Kispert. And Gay is in at the power forward. Here's Mann. Here's Williams. And it's Williams finishing it off.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Now here's McCollum, trailing by 4. Jacks up a 3. He can't get that one. And for the Nets, they're shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Over in the corner, Williams. Off target with his 3. Hawks have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Here's Landale. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Every so often, Tim, you heard the term defensive anchor. What defines one in the way you look at the game?
Well, I think it's that player that's on the back line, protecting the rim, but also able to see the entire floor. That is where your best communicator often resides.
How did you grade your defensive abilities when you played?
I battled, Kevin. You're going to have to kill me to stop me. That's the way I looked at it.
And Landale drops both of them. It's the Nets now. Now, Mann. He has yet to score. Sharp finds Mann. Williams for 3. Williams missing again. The Hawks trail. Hawks passing it around. Here's Gay. He averages about 5 points a game. Just 5 to shoot. McCollum, no good.
Well, that's a look you rarely see him miss.
Wolf passes to Mann. Floats it up for Williams. And Williams with the stuff.
And you can see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Now here's McCollum. 17 points for him last game against Charlotte. Three-pointer, heel. The Hawks again can't hit. Nets leading by 4. Williams passes to Mann. Here's Wolf. And here is Williams. He's coming off a 19-point game against Indiana.
And he also forced a number of turnovers, ending the night with 3 steals. Well, they're winning this game in large part due to how efficient he's been, and it's why they'll continue to go to him.
And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with them. And here are the best transition teams in the NBA. We're looking at the real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. The 4th spot held by the Hawks.
I think that's what really distinguishes them offensively. They really like to get out in transition.
McCollum outside. Kicks it out to Johnson. Outside Daniel. And Rizichet. The bucket on the assist by Daniels. Rizichet has got his 3rd bucket of the night. Nets leading by 4. And last season's most improved player. And Tim, I know you like this guy, Dyson Daniels, a rising player.
Well, Kevin, he is an elite defender, already one of the best we have in this league, and he's just getting started.
Now here's Johnson. Pass to McCollum. Now Landale. Johnson, a wide open look, sinks the three-pointer. Now just a 1-point Nets lead.
And we've seen Johnson become more confident with his outside shot. Now the next step for him, let's become more consistent.
Here's Traoré. And here's Porter. It's Powell on the wing. Shot clock at 5. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Porter, no luck.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror.
Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
Porter, no luck.
Well, I love the confidence. Keep shooting it. Eventually, he's got to start making some, right?
McCollum against Porter. Rizichet with it. He's got 8. Back to McCollum. This one for 3. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Yeah, McCollum is a real danger at the arc. He's an efficient long-range bomber.
Nets trail by 4. And so, Jordi Fernandez decides to call timeout. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. O'Connor's checked in for Jack Landale. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Nicholas Claxton's checked in for Powell. Williams scanning the floor. Pass to Porter. They need this one. Gets in and hoping this is the start of a new trend. 2 for 8 now from the field.
And such a sharp shooter from outside the arc. Porter just superb at knowing when to fire from deep.
Okongwu with a screen on Porter. Rizichet tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Outside Williams. There's a good screen. Pass to Porter. Here's Traoré. From the arc, shot clock at 6. He can't get that one to fall. On the wing, Daniels. He started by Williams. Daniels kicks to McCullough. The dive for the ball. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession. Here's what the Hawks have lined up on their schedule. On Thursday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Then on Friday, they'll be playing against Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat.
In that game against Brooklyn, even though they should get the win, I would expect it to be a bit of a battle. Just because they are favored doesn't mean it's an automatic W.
Here's Traore following the basket by C.J. McCollum. Pass to Porter. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
How about the strength from the big fella? Porter is used to having to power through contact.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for the Hawks. And the Nets making a change here as well. Demon, he's checked in for Zaire Williams. And it's tied up with that one. You know, Greg, a lot of the best scorers do what's called hunting, looking to create contact with the defender that they've zeroed in on.
Yeah, and that can be a legitimate technique to really negate a shot blocker. But when the offensive player basically initiates all the contact, we could be without some of those cheap foul calls against the defender.
And the Nets with possession here after the basket by Atlanta. Here's Clowney. And again, it's the Nets missing. The Hawks have gotten 7 of their 12 field goal attempts to drop here in the second quarter, up over 50%. Alexander Walker passes to Johnson. Now, here's Okongwu. Now, Reza Shea. 8 points for him. No good that time.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
There's Porter with the 3, and he's good on the 3 ball. Porter's got 12 points in the game. No shortage of drama here early on.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guys. And a look at the block shot number over the last few seasons for Nicholas Claxton.
Unfortunately, his block numbers have been going down the last couple seasons. Offensive players seem to have figured out ways to get around him to limit his impact.
Looking at the last game for the Atlanta Hawks, it was a loss to the Hornets. Pass to Reza Shea. Now, here's Okongwu. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
And we also need to mention his defense. He had a couple of big-time blocks.
Johnson can't get it to go.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Here's Clowney. And here's Porter, covered by Okongwu. From downtown, rebound Atlanta. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And I feel they were the superior team, but they didn't take advantage of their opportunities and just could not close that game out.
Brooklyn trailing. On the wing, Porter. Pass to Claxton. Back to Porter. Just 5 on the clock. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Well, unless the defense adjusts, I don't see any change here. He has flat out taken over this game with his scoring.
C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for the Hawks. Free throw good. Porter. And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for the Hawks. Trailing by 2. To the middle. Here's Alexander Walker. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Pass to Clowney. Daniels against Porter. Here's Demon. He's coming off a 13-point game against Indiana. 4 on the clock. Here's Torrey. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Len has gone for the three-pointers 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. Back to Alexander Walker. Launches it. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. And now it's a 3-point Atlanta lead.
Really in sync offensively right now. He is turning it up a notch.
Here's Demon. Defended by Alexander Walker. There's the triple. And it's Demon missing.
A bit of pride at stake. Trying to get that last 3-ball back, but couldn't get it to fall.
And Tim, breaking down Jalen Johnson's game, what jumps out to you?
Well, Kevin, I think it's his versatility. He can really do everything out there. And when you combine it with his size and athleticism, he's got star written all over him.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And legs from going undrafted to becoming a three-point contest champion, you had to fight for your place in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, that's an understatement. Yes, undrafted in '88. I played in just about every league imaginable, including a year in France. Had a bunch of 10-day contracts early on, but I didn't get my first full-time NBA contract until 1993 with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, your perseverance and tenacity definitely paid off.
Certainly didn't take no for an answer, I can tell you that.
It's the Nets now, after Jalen Johnson missing on the last three-pointer. Torrey can't hit.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
McCollum outside. Back to Johnson. Pass to Alexander Walker. And the three ball is good. Alexander Walker's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Hawks. Here's Clowney. Outside, Porter takes a three, knocks down the three ball. Porter's got it all tied up now for Brooklyn.
And things starting to click from three-point land. Nothing in the first quarter, but he's hit 3 triples here in the second.
And Michael Porter is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. And another look at that last play with the AT&T Connected Cam. .34 seconds left in the second quarter. Alexander Walker passes to Johnson. Puts up a three. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Torrey. Pocket 6. Outside Porter. From past the arc. That one no good. Tie game in Atlanta. And we'll be back right after play.
Brooklyn, 49.
Hey folks, welcome. The Atlanta Hawks find themselves here in a close one at the half.
You love to see this kind of chemistry. It's like our chemistry on the set. Everyone knows this rink.
You know what, Ernie, for once, I can't disagree with Shaq. It feels good to be the king.
I can't run away from this conversation fast enough. And we've got the playoff picture starting to come into focus now. So let's take a look at the Eastern Conference.
You know, right now for the Hawks, they haven't played up to their standards. Last year, they were an elite team. They need to find that mojo.
That is more than enough of us. Let's send you back to the game, Kevin Harlan and crew with the second half.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. One guy who's been getting it done is Michael Porter.
Yeah, and through the first two quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Well, and I expect they're going to continue to lean on him as we continue in this game. Why not? The way he's playing right now offensively.
And the Hawks with possession here. Starting off the second half, here's Jordy Fernandez's 5. Porter and Clowney up in the forward spots. Fleury is out there with Demon. And it's Claxton in at the center, filling out the middle. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for Brooklyn. Pass to Clowney. Outside Porter. The Nets working the ball around now. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Demon. A miss that time. Would have put him up. Atlanta shooting at 46%, making some buckets. Okongwu, the pass to Alexander Walker. Back to Rizashea. That one falls, coming off Johnson's feet. Johnson's got his 3rd assist on the night.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Porter. There's the pick. That's the Demon. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Demon's got 10.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Yeah, just going back and forth. It is really competitive out there.
Here's Rizashea, 11 points in the game. Here's Alexander Walker. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Pass to Clowney. Here's Fleury. Inside. Here's Porter. From down in the low post, it goes. Porter's got 20 points.
He's just a natural scorer who can heat up fast. Porter's offensive game very impressive, and he's still adding to it.
Here's Rizashea. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Outside Porter. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Screen by Claxton. Over Okongwu. Again, the Nets for 2.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Here's Alexander Walker. Gets the bucket and the foul. It's on Nolan Fleury.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Nikhil Alexander Walker. One side.
Free throw no good for Alexander Walker. For Brooklyn, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Pass to Porter. Lets it go from deep. And it's Rizachet with the rebound. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Alexander Walker. From deep. Brooklyn with the rebound. Claxton's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Outside Porter from outside the arc. Drills it from outside. Porter's got 5 points now in the quarter.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Rizachet with it. He's got 11. That one's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Alexander Walker.
Well, the defense is going to try to shut down certain things, but it's impossible to deny everything. That's a skilled play right there.
Here's Claxton. He's got 7. Pass to Demon. They set the pick. Here's Clowney. And that one comes up a bit short. Here's Rizachet. Johnson kicks to Okongwu. Here's Rizachet. Now, Alexander Walker. That misses, had a chance to tie it there.
Well, after spacing the floor for them in the first half, he's gone cold from out there.
On the wing, Porter. Guarded by Rizachet. Here's Traoré. Back to Porter. That 3 off the mark.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now here's Johnson. It's a 3-point game. And that one's good. Rizachet.
And with that 3, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
It's to Demon. And a wide open look for Porter. And again, it's the Nets missing.
I'm surprised he missed that one. He is a dangerous guy to leave open.
Okongwu is now starting, Tim, and coming off the bench his first handful of seasons, I think got him ready for this role he's in right now.
He has been a good defender from day one, but his offensive game now starting to show some growth. He's stretching his shooting range, and he is showing you some growth as a playmaker as well.
Pass to Clowney. Outside Porter to end the run. Porter can't get that one to fall.
And he has been ice cold from beyond the arc here since halftime, and he continues yet to fire away. He has got to tone it down if he wants to help his team.
That one drops for him.
Man, that is a tough spot right there for Johnson to get that done with all of those bodies in the lane.
Nets passing it around. Here's Clowney. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
And the Hawks making a change here. Kispert's checked in. Zaire Williams, he's checked in for the Nets. And it's the Hawks' ball. They're on an 11-3 run. Outside Daniel. Pass to Okongwu. Lets it go with a 3. And out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. And let's take this chance to check out the NBA steal leaders. The real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. Fifth on the list, Dyson Daniel.
And he's been a rock for them defensively. Just so many steals for him this year, and so many of them have been in key moments for his team.
Pass to Williams. Here's Traoré. The tray. It's good. And the Hawks lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Williams.
In this era of the NBA, you just can't let guys have good looks from the 3. Pretty much everyone in this league can make you pay.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Hawks.
Well, I've been impressed with the ball movement all game long. They're really looking to just make that extra pass.
Well, and how about the damage they've done attacking the basket? The defense has had no answers for how to slow them down in that area. I love the aggressiveness.
He's off on the first. And he's good on the second. And the Nets with possession here. Pass to Claxton. Here's Demon. He's covered by Daniels. Traore can't hit.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Now Reza Shea. Now Alexander Walker. He's got 17. And that one hits back iron. Here's Demon. Screen by Claxton. Here's Traore. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. The Hawks leading. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Here's Clowney, guarded by Reza Shea. Outside Williams. Here's Clowney. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Alexander Walker passes to Okongwu. Okongwu with a screen on Williams. Reza Shea with it. He's got 16. All alone. Rebound, Brooklyn. Claxton's. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting a troubling 38% in the third. Not the finest work of this offense. Pass to Demon. For the lead, he gets that one. Demon's got 5 points now in the quarter.
It makes up for a lack of speed with just tremendous effort and hustle on that play.
Now Kispert. The Hawks again can't hit.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Clowney. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. And now a 4-point Brooklyn lead.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now Alexander Walker. 17 points in the game. Here's Reza Shea. 5 on the clock. Up and in on the layup. Reza Shea's got 18 points.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Pass to Demon. Here's Traore. Down low. It's tipped. Stolen by Kispert. Daniels finds Alexander Walker. Now Reza Shea. He's guarded by Williams. Reza Shea with it. He's against Williams. And that one's good. Reza Shea's got the game tied up here for the Hawks. And so Jordi Fernandez decides to call timeout. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Brock Landale's checked in for Okongwu. Jalen Johnson comes in for Zachary Reza Shea. Buddy Hield, he's checked in for Daniel. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Nickeil Alexander Walker. And the net shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. Pass to Sharp. Outside, Porter. Banked in off the glass. And that's now 25 points for Michael Porter.
Just using his size well close to the rim. Porter is outstanding at cashing in from those spots.
With the step back, McCollum. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Drake Powell. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
Their accuracy in this one has just been on another level. I mean, the three ball keeps falling, and the defense just hasn't been able to run them off the line.
And something else I've liked has been their ball movement. Always finding the open guy with a better look. That is team basketball.
And he knocks down the first one. You know, Jim, throughout his career, C.J. McCollum has been the model of consistency.
Well, you can count on him to get you 20 with efficient shooting, Kevin. We've seen it now for over a decade. And I love his calm, steady demeanor. It stabilizes his team.
And so McCollum nails both of them. The Nets shooting 47% from the field in the third. Outside, Porter. Now, here's Sean. He's defended by Landale.
Oh, going high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam. Johnson outside. They kick out to Heel. For the lead, Wolf grabs the miss. The Nets with the lead to the inside. Sean, count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
One shot.
.26 seconds left in the third. Powell against McCollum. There's 14 seconds left to play in the third. 6 to shoot. Atlanta needs to get off a shot here. Healed with the bucket.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. But even better finish.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. It's the Nets up 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Atlanta. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Well, he made the right play. It didn't have to be a highlight reel play, and that's all you can ask from any position.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Johnson is out there with Kispert. Then it's Jock Landale. Then there's McCollum, and it's Healed in at the 2 guard. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
He is soaring on that one. Johnson going up high to get his hands on it.
Powell, the pass to Sharp. Now here's Porter. Pass to Wolf. There's Williams with the 3. Rebound, Atlanta. McCollum outside. To take the lead. And trying for the go-ahead basket, it doesn't go in. The Nets have gone 0-3 to start the fourth quarter. Over in the corner, Williams. And again, no good by Brooklyn. The Hawks shooting here about 46% for the game. That puts them in the lead. And the Hawks lead by 2.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Now here's Williams. Going inside. 8 for 15 with that made basket. But he's not satisfied yet.
That's very smart use of the screen, and it sets up a very close look.
McCollum outside. Good on the bucket.
Look at McCollum just going to work. So good at using his creativity to find shots inside.
Outside Porter. Outside Williams. Sharp with the screen on Hield. Nobody near Williams. Again, Williams missing. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Atlanta Hawks. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Now, here's Kispert. A three-pointer off the mark. Here's Wolf. On the wing, Williams. Over Hield. Another miss by Williams.
Just hasn't been his night so far, and if he's unable to find his rhythm, this might be a long night for them.
McCollum outside. Pass to Kispert. Hield from outside. Drains it from beyond the arc. Hield's got the lead up to 5 now for Atlanta.
And you've got to be up on Hield, especially when he's beyond the arc. If not, he'll burn you.
And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. He knows every possession is critical now.
Let's hear it for your ATL
Okongwu's checked in for Jock Landale. And the Nets making a change here as well. Claxton's checked in. Now let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Jordi Fernandez's huddle. He cautioned his guys against forcing things at the arc, saying we can't make a rhythm happen, so don't force it. Take what is coming to you out there. Coach hoping for a renewed offensive focus going forward, guys.
And as always, Allie, great job. Thank you. Now here's Williams. Powell kicks to Porter. Hits it from three-point range. Porter's got 28.
And he's on his way to putting up a big three-point total.
McCollum against Powell. Fires from deep. Another three for Atlanta.
Wow, I just love how McCollum responded with that three of his own, showing you what a competitive player he is.
Now here's Powell. On the wing, Williams. From the baseline. Count it, and the Atlanta lead has been cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Porter.
Well, his production is not in question now if he could just get his teammates involved.
McCollum outside for 3. It's hauled in by Michael Porter. The Nets have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. And here is Powell. Here's Wolf. On the wing, Porter. Defended by Kispert. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off his shot. 24-second violation for the Hawks. Zachary Rizachet is checked in for Corey Kispert. Tyson Daniels comes in for Buddy Hield. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for C.J. McCollum. And then for Brooklyn, Brownie's checked in. And Demon subbed in for Williams. After Rizachet, he's looking for Okongwu and finds him. 2 points, that one goes.
They will take that shot every time down the floor if they could. It's just great execution.
Now Porter. The Nets working the ball around now. Demon. 6 on the shot clock. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. And there's Daniels. That's good on the assist by Okongwu. Okongwu's now got his 3rd assist on the night. Here's Traore outside Porter. To the left wing. Here's Demon. Hands it from downtown.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Alexander Walker with the ball. 3-pointer, Daniels. Porter pulls it in.
And they're winning this game despite his difficulties at the offensive end.
Here's Demon. Claxton finds Porter. Shoots over Alexander Walker. Porter, no luck. The Hawks leading by 4. Pass to Alexander Walker. 3-pointer, Daniels. Rebounded by the Nets. Porter's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Here's Traore. Here's Claxton. Guarded by Rizachet. Now Claxton. Pass to Traore. Shoots the 3. Rebound Atlanta. Johnson's got 13 rebounds in the game. Conceding. A good look from Rizachet. That's short off the rim. Nets trail by 4. Here's Traore. Here's Clowney. Finds himself wide open and drills it.
Assisted by
Atlanta's got a disappointing 2 assists on 3-point attempts here in the 4th. Johnson in the corner. Here's Rizachet. That one falls. Coming off the Johnson feet. Rizachet's got 23.
And Rizachet is having himself a game. Everything is coming together for the young fella.
Up top, Claxton. Pass to Demon. Here's Traore. Down low, Claxton. Rebound by Alexander Walker.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
And they pick up 2.
And as a scorer, Daniels can really work inside with that size.
Nets trail by 7. Here's Demon. Outside, Porter fires the 3. It's good from long range. Porter's got 8 points here in this quarter.
3 triples in the first half, 3 in the second. Boy, do they add up.
Pass to Rizachet. Johnson with a screen on Porter. Kicks it out to Johnson. Okongwu with the screen for Johnson. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
So far, he hasn't done a lot of damage from 3. Only had that 1 in the first half.
No coverage that time.
His first 3 of the game. Maybe that gets him going from out there.
Here's Alexander Walker following the 3-pointer by Brooklyn. Pass to Johnson. Shoots the 3. Claxton with the rebound. Brooklyn's gone over and over to the 3-point shot in the 4th quarter. 4 of 9. Strong move off the glass. And guys, here in the 4th quarter, still a close game.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Outside Daniel. Fires the 3. Porter pulls it down.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
From outside, it's off.
And it's still a rare sight to see rebound numbers like the ones he's had tonight.
Yeah, no question about it. It feels like every missed shot is ending up in his hands. Unreal. Rizachet
with it. Now Johnson, and out of bounds as the Nets gain possession.
And what a time to get sloppy. A close game like this, you cannot be getting loose with the ball.
Brooklyn with the ball. They're on a 13-5 run here. There's the pick. Here's Traore, defended by Alexander Walker. Three, good!
And it's clear Porter is a gutsy guy, someone who enjoys taking and making huge shots for his team.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. With it, now guarded by Porter. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter. Daniels missed on the three.
And that shot isn't the one they should be taking if they want to make this comeback happen.
Now Claxton. Here's Traore. Lock at 6. Tries it from 16. Okongwu pulls it down. The Hawks trail by 4. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now Reza Shea. They can't stop the run with that one, and so they choose to intentionally foul. The Nets on offense. Here's Clowney. Porter double team. Claxton outside. And so they foul intentionally.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
It's the first, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
They're making all of their free throws right now. It's a great way to extend the lead.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. He has decided it's the right time to talk. Second, separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Reza Shea, guarded by Porter. Puts up the 3. Claxton with the rebound. And an intentional foul right there.
And get foul upon you. Second, team starter. Shooting for Brooklyn. Traore at the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
And no good It is the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And he ends up making the second, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And that about wraps it up. Along with Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you.